Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This week, the President spoke on American energy security at the Argonne National Laboratory in Illinois, celebrated the luck of the Irish, honored leaders in STEM education and small business, filled out his NCAA tournament brackets, announced his nominee for the Secretary of Labor, and embarked on a 5-day trip to Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan. That's March 15th to March 21st, or Reach Out to New Horizons.
Our restless spirit, our willingness to reach out to new horizons, that's the nature of America.
On Friday, President Obama traveled to Argonne National Laboratory's Nanoscale Materials Center, just outside Chicago, Illinois, to talk about all the progress we are seeing from his all-of-the-above approach to energy independence, and the risk that this important sector faces from the arbitrary cuts being imposed by the sequester.
We've tested hydrogen, methane, natural gas.
I look at the ball and stick model.
My specialty is high-speed combustion engines.
Every time you mention energy, all of your statistical units, it really has an impact on us.
Right.
Thank you very much for telling people how important
It is important.
The President of the United States, Barack Obama.
One of the reasons I was opposed to these cuts is because they don't distinguish between wasteful programs and vital investments. They don't trim the fat, they cut into muscle and into bone. Like research and development being done right here that ends up creating all kinds of spin-offs that create good jobs and good wages.
On Monday morning, the President made a personnel announcement in the East Room, introducing his nominee for Secretary of Labor, Thomas Perez.
Thomas Perez.
Like so many Americans, Tom knows what it's like to climb the ladder of opportunity. He's the son of Dominican immigrants. He helped pay his way through college as a garbage collector and working at a warehouse. And he's helped settle some of the largest cases ever on behalf of families targeted by unfair mortgage lending. So his story reminds us of this country's promise, that if you're willing to work hard, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what your last name is, you can make it if you try.
Later, the President honored key supporters of STEM education programs. That means education in science, technology, engineering, and math in the Oval Office. Then he headed to the Eisenhower Executive Office building, where 100 small business owners from across the country were participating in a meeting of the National Small Business Association. At the end of the day, he joined the First Lady in the East Room for a reception in honor of Women's History Month.
It is hard to believe that 100 years ago this month, thousands of women were marching right outside this house, demanding one of our most fundamental rights, the right to vote. And today, a century later, its rooms are full of accomplished women who have overcome discrimination, shattered glass ceilings, and become outstanding role models for all of our sons and daughters.
On Tuesday, the President welcomed Prime Minister Enda Kenny of Ireland to the White House to honor the strong bilateral partnership, enduring people-to-people ties, and commitment to advancing peace, security, and prosperity in the world that our two nations share.
We cherish this opportunity once a year to reaffirm the incredible bond between the United States and Ireland. This year, it also gives us an excuse to stretch out St. Patrick's Day for a couple of extra days.
Then it was time for the annual traditional St. Patrick's Day lunch at the United States Capitol. And then, in another rite of spring, the President engaged in some good old-fashioned bracketology, announcing his personal predictions for the NCAA basketball tournament that some people like to call March Madness.
They have not won a national championship since 2000.
But this may be the year.
In the evening, the President and the First Lady hosted a reception to celebrate their 5th St. Patrick's Day at the White House. During the reception, the President and Prime Minister Kenny participated in the annual Shamrock ceremony.
This day has served as a reminder of just how many threads of green are woven into the red, white, and blue. And in times of war and peace, good times and bad, Americans have always found a way to celebrate that heritage.
And then it was time to head east, and east, and east again, approximately 9,462 kilometers, or 5,880 miles, or 5,109 nautical miles, for the President's first trip as President to Israel, the West Bank, and Jordan, which would keep him on the road for the next 4 days.
America's support for Israel's security is unprecedented, and the alliance between our nations has never been stronger.
Tune in next week when West Wing Week will bring you its dizzying wrap-up of the President's trip to the Middle East.
Shalom.
To find out more information on any of these topics or to see complete videos of these events, go to whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out your West Wing Week.
And why don't you guys get a picture in front of the Lincoln?
Yeah, let's do
You
that.
guys go walk over there. If you set it up, I'll take the picture for you.
I think we'd rather have you in it.
You might have to zoom in like that.
I have a feeling he figured that one out. But thanks for the tip, though.